one part of the story. We're not supposed to be living in poverty, right?
No, not supposed to be living in poverty.
We're not supposed to be living in poverty.
No.
So then you've got all these kind of, you've got all these people who aren't living in poverty, but nothing's changing, all right? So, but then a lot of those people that aren't living in poverty, they've got a story about of when they were living in poverty and now they're not, because, but they haven't changed the world.
No.
Nothing's changed. It's getting worse.
Yeah.
So where's the disconnect? There's a disconnect there, you know what I mean? So what is it like? You get money and all of a sudden you become this indifferent thing that decides, oh, I'm just going to look after myself.
See, my dad had a hard life. Never had a father and all this. And when he had us kids, he said, I'm going to make sure you suffer worse than me. You're never going to be above me or rise above me. He kept us down with emotional abuse. He was honest and good man in every other way. But being spiritual, I get whacked over the head. Couldn't talk about God, planets, stars. He kept me ignorant all them years. But I knew, just like what you said, you had that experience where you knew there's more than the five senses. You know? And one day, Dad got into hating God and hating this. He says, shut up talking about this stuff. And I said, Dad, don't mock God or my spiritual side. Because I was a little kid, or something's going to happen. I knew exactly what was going to happen. I should have said it. I said, I'm going to blow the light fuse with because I was angry. And the next thing had happened, he's going to call the police. You've been messing with me fuse box. It happened right at that moment. And my dad said, you should be a magician. That's your talent. But no, I knew the way my dad was attacking me, basically whacking me over the head for talking about spirituality and God. And as a little kid. See, I was born with this awareness too, like you.
Apparently we all are.
Yeah. But I never saw light with my dad.
Kind of beaten out of us. You know? But even your dad, when he was a brand new little baby, he would have been just like us when we were brand new little babies. Right? No different.
But I never saw light around him, ever. Not
but
once.
When he was born,
he
was just like any other little baby.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, this is the next level for you and me. Because these programs, these conditions, these behavioural patterns, and the way we live our life and everything, okay? Apparently, we put those programs in when we were little, before we were 7. Okay, so between the ages of when we were born up to the age of 7.
That's right. Around about that time. Yep. Program.
That's when we put these programs in, and that's how we've been living. Now, when I look at that in my life, right, I can really see how that makes so much sense, and that kind of really works, right? Doesn't it? There's a lot of smoke there. There's got to be a little fire, all right? So,
yeah,
they're telling us that the reason why you and me and why everyone else can't get there to this other story is because another story has been kind of like burned into the hard wiring.
Our fathers,
been burned in there. Yeah. And now it's a lion, and it's got its territory, and it patrols its fucking territory, and it won't accept any changes to its territory, right? Because that's how well it's designed, and it's also being influenced. And this is where the conversation gets thin from everyone else, right?
Like a dog returning to its vomit.
Well, no, it's just, it knows what it has to do, all right? But so this is where the conversation gets thin from everyone else because of Sludge Boy's influence, all right? And that's where the conversation kind of like dies out, all right? There's not much talk about that, just little bits here and there. Generally, they leave him out of it. Okay, the dark influence. Generally, the talk is about our abilities, our powers, our interaction with the quantum field. It's about our power. See, things have changed. For 2,000 years, it was about God has the power and we need to repent and hopefully we'll get to heaven. Now that's how the story was for 2,000 years, all right? Now it's changed. Now the story is we have the power, all right? That's the new story in the world.
Okay, yeah.
Okay? We have the power.
Is that a bit new agey? Because there's a lot of deception in the new age type of beliefs and spirituality.
You see, don't forget, Jesus said the same thing. We have the power. The kingdom of heaven is within, right? But it's kind of, so it's the same message, but Jesus talked about the devil and the demons and everything, all right? They leaving that bit out of it this time, all right? This time it's just about...
Not calling people to repentance, like Joe Alston.
Yeah, but they're trying to leave the woo-woo out of it.
Yeah.
You know, like the dark influence. They're trying to leave that out of it. Just saying that if we can understand what we really are, we can live this, have this life that we've is planned for us, okay? This amazing life of miracles and power and everything, if we can understand that, okay? And strip through all the old conditionings and programs and everything like that and learn how to get heart-brain coherence and breathe right and get the right mantra and the right vibrations and frequencies going and get the kundalini, fire up that fucking kundalini and blow the top of your skull off, you know? We can do that. So they talk about all that, all right? But,
the kundalini. That's
all the whole thing about we can, all this power is in energy is available within us.
Yeah.
All right?
Which they use for the wrong reasons anyway.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying that's the story. So, it's, but we've already said that, you know, where is there anywhere in the world where people are actually doing that? But
well, like you say,
for 2,000 years it was religion, okay? It was like spiritual religion. God had the power and we were, you know, we had to do the best we could, right? And God and the devil had the power and we were kind of like, you know, just had to do the best we could.
Yeah.
Live a good life and get to heaven. Or not to hell. That was the story for a long time. Now the story is we have the power, but there's not much talk about Sludge Boy. There used to be a lot of talk about Sludge Boy, right? Heaps. Especially the Catholics. They made an art form out of Sludge Boy, exorcists and everything, right?
Yeah.
So, no, they know him inside and out. But now it's about our power, our personal power. This is the message in the world, right? Without much talk about the dark influence.
Exactly. And I'm relating it to the archons, how people go up the ranks of spirituality.
Yeah,
and then you come in the name of Jesus and the archons piss off in space and dimensional time. And they're going up the ranks and meeting these gurus and all this, but they're actually deceivers. Because they're not doing exactly what you said. They're not calling on the name of Jesus. They're getting there in another way and enlightened, but they're you know, they're not a Christian's arsehole. They're just new agey thing. Yeah, I've experienced that. They flee, mate. Mention the name of Jesus. Yeah.
I just thought of something to say then. What's it?
About the dark side coming in.
Yeah, they don't talk about it much. So, okay, yeah, that's what I was going to say. So, it says to test the spirits.
And the prophets.
So that's what you and I are doing right now, in this second. We're testing the spirits and the prophets. We're not talking about and engaging with the things of the world. We're not doing that, okay? The way the world is operating. We're not engaging with that and seeing how we can plug into that, right? And get successful and get money or whatever, pleasures, whatever. We're not talking about that. We're talking about something else, all right? So, so that's what we're doing. We're testing the spirits right now. Right now. Okay. So now today, 2023, they don't want to talk about demons and sludge point. Okay, they don't want to talk about that. Okay?
I noticed.
Not like they used to. It used to be accepted. Heaven and hell. Well, now they don't want to talk about hell. All right.
Just getting rich and become a righteous, obedient pastor or bishop, and
no, they're not. It's not religion anymore.
Ah, you mean
it's about your own power,
destiny?
But the power that they talk about, the source, okay? Divine source has created this power that within us, okay, our spirit, everything. Talk a lot about that. Mention the source all the time. Divine source, divine inspiration, divine source, divine. It's all divine. Everything's divine. Okay, so that word divinity is the new Bible. Okay, so as long as that word is there, divinity, everything that comes after it is okay, because that's the Bible. Divinity. It's like when they read the Bible, everything in this Bible is from God. Every word is from God, right? It's the Bible. You just put divinity into, okay, it's all right. It's divine, this information, okay? So, right, because for 2,000 years people read the Bible, this is divinity, all right? Because they were told that, right? Now they're being told something else. So they can do the same thing. Oh, okay, this is divinity. Where divinity? All right? Neil Walsh is one of those, mate. So, where divinity, right? So it's the new story. Okay, it's true. The new
I'm glad
story.
You mentioned Neil Walsh, because you're the one that corrected me when he said, what do you say, even Hitler will end up in sort of heaven, a bit like the Mormons will say, some type of heaven, and he's watching himself in hell burning while he's actually stepped out of it.
Some serious clangers in that stuff, right? So, I can smell like clanger from back in 50 clangers, all right? One clanger, if there's one, there can be more. All right.
We are God-guarding.
That's it, So if there's one clanger, and that's what I mean. So there are clangers in everything that will come out of people's mouths. That's why you can take it in.
Well, see, Neil's the opposite. Everything's good. We're all part of God, and there's no evil. We only create evil, and we don't. No one goes to hell. Everybody ends up in heaven, but they get to watch themselves burn in hell. This is ridiculous. There's no accountability.
See,
no right and wrong. Nothing.
So we have to get the answers for ourselves. All right? And it can't be from that person or this book.
No.
Okay?
No.
It can't be, because the people that have been living that way, that have been getting their information from their senses, have delivered us this world of ghettos and homeless children. Right? So why the fuck would we listen to them?
That's right. They're not.
Look at the world. If you want to open your eyes and look at the world, why would you listen to them? Look at what they've given us. Look what they've delivered.
And religion too.
Anyone who's got anything to say about how to get there and this is how it is and anything like that. Well, look at the world they've delivered.
Pure religion is to help the widows and fatherless, and they're not doing that.
We've got a world full of widow and fatherless, and a world full of religion, and no sign of God.
No sign of God.
Because there's so many widow and fatherless,
and others,
and all this religion. So no sign of God in any of that. But you can't. You try to talk to one of the esteemed multi-millionaire preachers like this, he'll just call security. right?
Yeah.
He's paid security, they're going to drag you off.
Yeah.
Right? No worries, fuck off.
Wow.
Right? So he'll do that straight away. You try to corner, what's his name, rat face, and try to...
Oh, you mean Kenneth Copeland?
Yeah. Try to talk to him about it. You see him, he does, sometimes someone does corner him and he goes all dark.
I know.
So that's what we're up against.
Oh my goodness.
All right?
Millions.
But if we can understand that, you and me sitting here in this room today, and the future is unwritten, but our mind thinks that it is written, right? Because it's looking in the mirror, right? Because it's saying, look, I can see a reflection. So of course tomorrow exists, because otherwise I'd be dead, you know? If I couldn't see a reflection, I mean, there's no life in the body.
Yep.
So, but I can see reflections. This is what I'm going to make. So, if we can get in front of that, because they are not, because and it's above my pay grade why it's happening like this. Okay, I just can't even go there. But that's what they're doing. They're not, they're just, you know, they're just going along with it all. Even the miserable people, even the beggar at the shop with his fucking drug habit and his hungry belly and sunken eyes, even he's going along with it all. He's just by his mind is looking in the mirror. This is what the story was 10 minutes ago. This is what will be 10 minutes from now.
It's not that a smoke and a drink is wrong, but it's what you talk about.
It's his choices that he's making. He's going along with that story. So that's what he gets. That story. He's going along with it, that he's miserable and fucked up and broke. And he's buying that story. Because the body and the mind are looking in the mirror, because that's all they've got to go off, because he has gone to sleep. He's given up. He's fucked off. He's long gone. Right? There's just his mind and his body sitting at the shop, bumming cigarettes and waiting for death. All right? And sick and cold and that. That's just his mind and his body. He's gone. He's in comatose. He's comatose. Right? But his mind and body is still alive. And it's got a mirror to look at, to see what it needs to do to produce the future that isn't here yet. Right? But it should look like that, because that's my job, because he's asleep. He's not giving me any new instructions. So my instructions are to look at that mirror and create the next fucking 10 minutes.
And the only reward for him is a nice hot meal. That's his heaven, waiting for somebody to buy him a feed.
Well, but that's all part of this, his story, and that's what constitutes his story of misery. So he obviously, he's not consciously choosing that. He's miserable. He doesn't want to be there like that. Okay, he doesn't realize that he's buying into it by accepting that that's how it has to be. You know, he's got no choice. He hasn't got the power to get up and make a new movie. He doesn't realize that he can do that. He doesn't realize that he can change the movie. Right? He's got to go on this movie, because he's gone to sleep, and his mind and body have only got the old movie to go on, because the future doesn't exist yet. But the only way the future exists is for us to create it. Right? We have to move our arms and legs to create the future. Otherwise, if you and I sat here for a week and didn't move from these chairs, nothing would change in this room, right? Would it? Okay? So, but for there to be changes, we actually have to move things around. So he's just decided that he's just going to go to sleep and let his body and his mind survive. All right? And it knows how to do that until it can't do it anymore. And that could happen to us. That can happen to anybody. All right? So because if someone has been successful and they're in a good place and plenty of food, a nice house and money coming in, okay? Well, that's what the mind is seeing in the mirror. It's seeing success, it's seeing comfort, it's seeing pleasure, it's seeing inspiration. So that's what it's producing, all right? Because that's what it's... See, those people, they're asleep too. But they've got in their mirror is a different story, a different movie than the beggar on the street.
Yeah.
Okay? But exactly the same thing is happening.
Yeah.
From both the successful person and the loser.
Yeah.
They're both asleep. All right? But this one, in his mirror, is a certain movie of success. That's what is being created. The beggar's got a movie of misery and being fucked over. That's what gets created because they're both living a movie and they're both asleep. All right? And the story is that that's the position with each and every person on the earth, because the future is not written in stone for anyone.
No.
Okay?
No.
Because Wormwood could come back tomorrow and there goes everybody's dreams and
big
plans
meteorite,
and stories. They're all over, right? Those stories are all gone. All right? One huge natural disaster and all those stories are gone. Right? They all meant nothing because it's all changed. But if we've got the timeless story, the story that's not made of the events that we can see, right? So that's just what you said before. It reminded me, I've got about half a dozen dreams that I'll never forget, right?
Yeah.
And one of them is that I was standing on top of this hill and I was in a little gazebo. You know the gazebo, those little domed sort of metal kind of frames that you see on, a little round, and you see a little table underneath them and metal, and they've got a dome on top.
Yeah, like the Sound of Music movie.
Yeah, the gazebos.
Yeah.
You see them in the States and stuff like that. There's usually a table, a couple of chairs under there, but the metal frame over there, okay? About as wide as this room sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
So I was up on top of this hill, and I was in this gazebo, all right? And then there were all these green rolling hills, and then there was a city over there, all right? And I was in the gazebo, and I was looking at the whole thing. Then there was a big mushroom cloud went off above the city, okay? Huge mushroom cloud, all right? And all the people from the city started running out of the city, and they were running across the green hills, or across the grass, running away from the mushroom cloud.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I was up on top of a high hill in the gazebo, looking at the city and and I could see all the people running out of the city, running across the grass, away from the city, away from the mushroom cloud.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah. And
so I realised there had been a nuclear explosion. And then there were like millions of people running out of the cities in a dream, okay? But you could see all these millions of people running across the hills in terror, running away from the explosion, right?
Yeah.
And I could see the radiation start to come out from the city and start to mow them down. I could see it, the belt of radiation. I could see it come, and I could see the people starting to fall, all right, and go down.
Yeah.
And as the belt of radiation started to get toward the hill where I was on the gazebo, right, I stepped out of the gazebo. I stepped out of it, and there's the wave of radiation coming. I could see all the people just dying, millions of them, right? And I stepped out of the gazebo just as the wave of radiation came, and it hit me, and I just stood there, and I could see all the people dying and everything. I just stood there and felt all this radiation rush over me. I knew it couldn't touch me, just watching all these people burn, and I just, I'll never forget that, man. I could feel it like, so what? Is that what you've got? It was like that,
Yeah.
So real. It's like I had it 5 seconds ago.
Yeah.
I was there. I'm there now. I could see the grass.
Yeah.
I could see the gazebo.
Yeah.
The metal strands. The table. And I was there.
I've had strange dreams, like I was a fallen angel, mate. I was falling through the clouds of Jupiter, like.
Speaking of that, just I just saw a video of a 10-year-old girl play piano. I am serious when I say she made, and I'm not saying this as a joke, I'm being fucking serious.
Yep.
She made Liberace sound like a fucking beginner.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I'm not joking.
He's my idol.
I'm not trying to
Right.
fluff the figures. All right?
Wow.
10 years old.
You should have sent that to me.
Oh, yeah. And this piece...
Like Akinani, the famous
yeah,
artist.
Yeah, she's like that.
Went up to heaven,
Yeah.
disappeared the
just
body.
Like that.
Come back an
what
artist.
She was playing
painted Jesus.
Was because she was playing this piece. That was a really complicated piece. Really
a composition or a piece of music? Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, classical piece of music.
Yeah.
10-year-old, she learned, okay? But it was this amazing, complex piece of music. And it had the sections that were so fast. And then it morphed into this kind of slowed down into this beautiful melody thing, blended these chords and this melody from this ultra fast that was faultless and perfect.
Yeah.
All these really fast notes, you could hear every fucking one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You could hear every note. And then she morphed into this beautiful slow cadence. And then back to the faster, and back to this beautiful slow thing, and back to, and the big finish, mate.
Like orchestrated.
Oh, she's
10-year-old girl.
And her little 4-year-old brother was there, and it was on one of those American talk shows, okay?
Yeah.
She was so amazing. She had a 4-year-old brother there. She's teaching him, and he played like a Mozart thing. You know how Mozart was 4, something like that.
Yep.
He's 4, and you can hear his notes too, all right? And then she gets on, mate. And I watched it twice. And the second time I shut my eyes because I just wanted to listen to the music, right? Because it's so beautiful. And when she puts this cadence in there, slows it down for this brilliant fast stuff, and she's doing it all. Then you can hear every note and the expression, and she's... So
what about that Japanese guy, 12-year-old kid, and he had brain damage? The part that's musical was damaged. He was retarded. Played in an orchestra, and they didn't know how he could put it together by emotion. He could feel the vibration. So amazing, isn't it?
The clue here is that we really are timeless, eternal beings. We really are.
Only if we
not
tap
many
into it.
of us are aware of it. That seems to be what's going on. And every now and then you see someone that reflects just a tiny little bit of that power that we really are. Okay? And it's usually more in children because they haven't had a chance to be conditioned to this story. With me? They're still open to accepting the other story, and they don't, it's just natural. So in other words, we should all be able to play piano like that. We should all be able to play like that. We should all, this is the thing. So, but the children haven't had a chance to, like I said, to be messed with. So they don't get that. Or if you have an accident, something that breaks that conditioning of the mind and the body, something that slays that lion, that gets that lion to lie down. How do you get a lion to lie down, a wild lion to lie down? How do you do that? You have to be stronger than the lion, all right? If you're strong... Having the understanding... It's a good chat, isn't it?
Oh, mate. I just just don't know anyone else in the world that can talk the way we do. Never met them.
See, what does that mean?
What does it mean?
Yeah.
What does it mean? We're being prepared for something, I think. Something mighty is going to come upon this earth.
I can't let it go. And so, anyway.
The timing of it all, brother.
So yeah, so it comes back to what we were saying, like, okay, the news story is that we have the power.
Yep.
But Sludge Boy has been marginalised.
Yep.
And kept out of the picture, right?
Yep.
But you and me sitting in here in this room, and with the information and the data we're putting into our heads,
Yep.
we're not doing that. We're not writing him out. Right? Now, they may be doing that, right? But I don't feel to do that. A lot of people are really comfortable with the idea of there being no devil, right?
Yep.
Now, I'm not talking about hell or heaven, because that's an anthropomorphic thing in the head.
Yep.
All right, I'm not talking about that, okay? Because as far as I'm concerned, if you wanna know about hell, this is all you have to do. Watch. I'll show you what you want to do, what you need to do if you want to see hell, right? What you watching?
Yes. What?
It's out there. It's out there.
Right.
Right at that door.
Right.
Starts right there.
Stepping out. Yeah.
Hell starts right there.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not in here. Starts right there.
The moment you go out to the world.
Yes, people worry about, oh, go to hell, go to hell, go to hell, hell. Hell is right there.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where it is. It's here. That little homeless destitute girl.
Yes.
If that's not hell, how can it get any worse?
Yeah. Especially having a body and having that sort of pain and
hell
suffering.
Is here.
Yeah, right.
This is hell. Living like this, reading stories about destitute little girls who aren't being helped, homeless, destitute 5-year-old girls.
Yeah.
That's hell.
Right. Yeah.
How can it get any worse? How bad do you want it? Do you want to read about wild dogs tearing her apart? That would be a kind of more of a hell, I suppose. But just homeless and destitute.
Yeah.
Isn't that hell?
Yeah.
When you go to hell, wouldn't you expect to see things like that? Miserable people, homeless and destitute, and all sad and terrified.
And like you mentioned in Northbridge years ago when they were stabbing that woman or something, and everybody stood around in a circle and watched it. I think the woman died. They didn't do a thing. Not one person stepped in to stop. All those people could have stopped that guy with the knife, and they just sat back and watched it like entertainment. That was terrible.
Yes, like you can see somewhere in the world when some bloke is stabbing somebody or something in an airport or a shopping centre.
Yeah.
And you see all these hundreds of people running away.
Yeah.
Hundreds of them.
Yeah.
You know, one person going crazy.
Yeah.
Hundreds running the other way.
Yeah.
Well, what about running toward him?
A whole lot would take him down.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
So, yeah. So, I just thought then, the idea of hell being somewhere else, like being after this life,
Yep.
that could be like a distraction to take away from looking at the hell that really does exist, all this misery and the rich people and kicking, and people were slaves and working in the factories.
But there's still a real hell, isn't there?
Well,
after this life.
That could be the distraction. That this is hell. with all these mad
All right.
stabbers and shooters
Exactly.
and rich fucking blood drinking fucking elite. And,
But they will still be judged with the book of life.
well,
What happens
see,
to them?
I'm not even going that far. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Why do you even think about hell could be somewhere else?
Right. It's already happening.
It's here.
Yeah.
But they don't want to see that.
Yeah.
That little girl, the rich people and
Yeah.
the billionaires and primary schools in the country falling down and hospitals and people not having clean drinking water.
Yeah.
And you got billionaires trying to get to fucking Mars.
Yeah.
And people haven't got clean water.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
if that's hell, you with me?
Yep.
So to create a story of hell being somewhere else is like a smoke screen.
Yeah.
For people not to think that, we really are in hell. Oh, hell's somewhere else. That's another time.
Yeah.
It's not now. I just thought of that then.
Okay.
You know? It's like that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because,
Yep.
okay, I'm not a fucking doom and gloom. At least I'm talking to someone who is willing to listen to what I've got to say.
Well, you listen to my music, so I respect you for what you say because I express it through music, but you certainly can express it through the spoken word. That's your gift. That the Bible says not to trust in the philosophies of man or something, but your philosophy is not the world. It's not appeal to the appearances, the world. It's you're trying to get away from of the world in that sense. So you're not really a philosopher. You're more of a spiritual kind of a guru, but Christ-centered too. You're not going off the rails with other,
Trying to be human.
trying to be.
Well, I'm trying to be human, and the world, by and large, has forgotten what that means. All right? Now, that's not my fault that they've forgotten.
It's subhuman to kill people and all this.
And to let people live in misery and poverty, and when you could do something about it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's not human.
Yeah,
Right? Not as I understand human. And I can't live like they understand human. I can only live like how I understand human. Right? And they're living like they understand human. But that's different than the way I understand human.
Yeah.
Right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
And because of, I know, I've put myself under the fucking microscope, but because of the values that I feel I'm in touch with, like the homelessness, I can't believe that that's wrong. Whereas I can see how the scrabbling for money at all costs, I can see how that's wrong. But I can't see how what I want is wrong. But they can't see how what they want is wrong, scrabbling for money. They can't see it. But I can't see how what I want is wrong. Just having the care for people. And I'm not going to let that go just so I can be a part of. So this is where the trust comes in. And because it's not about the stuff.
Yeah.
It's not about the stuff. It's not about the scrabbling. It's not about the insecurity. It's not about the pleasures, right?
Yeah, not about the pleasures.
Story. It's not about the mirror effect. It's not about that.
Stepping out of all of that, eh? Wow. Gee.
And you can see how so many well-respected, eminent people are just totally into that.
Well, I was into all of that, mate, and it is absolute refreshing to step aside from all of that adventure that I've had. I've been of the world, I've done all the naughty things, but I've stepped aside, and if I don't even go there, and I don't choose to get into my head and go where I was before, that pleasure, it's like it never existed, because it means nothing.
It doesn't really exist, but if we take our hands off the wheel, the mind and the body will look in the mirror, and it will create that because we're not dead.
Exactly.
If we're alive, that's what the mind will do. That's how it's designed.
Yep.
It works with that. The mirror doesn't work with divinity.
You know, you talk about meditation, being silence and go into the state of beingness and making the changes. You know, just talking like this is doing the same thing. It's a sort of a meditation, telling us how. You see, no one tells you how to do it. They're not really explaining how. See, you're going through a sort of dimensional space and time transition here as you speak. I can feel myself upsending, you know, and I'm not even actually in a yoga position or do any meditation, but I'm also focused on Jesus because I'm a Christian and so are you. But I can feel myself going to a place that is heaven. Wow, the spirit is so strong.
That's because you're getting out of your head.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And
but I know
just letting information. See, if you get the right information, like I said, we're in a world where we've got these five senses designed to take in information. All right. So if we're taking in the right information, that's how things are supposed to work. We take in the right information.
Yep.
And this conversation we're having at the moment, it's not about information that already exists in our head. It's about how to shut down that information that already exists in our head. That's why this is so refreshing. Because it's an original conversation, because the future is not written in stone. And so we are not having a conversation coming from the place of our mind that is producing the conversations from the mirror. With me?
Yeah.
We're not doing that at this moment. We could do that. We could straight away go back to how we used to be in a normal conversations and nothing, because the mirror is there. We could just go to sleep right now and go right back to that, and the body and the mind wouldn't miss a beat.
Yeah.
It would just say, fucking peace at last.
Yeah, false peace. Yeah, false security.
The line would then relax.
Yep.
Okay, and we would feel better.
Yep.
You even feel better. It will make us feel physically sick until we decide to stop poking it in the arse, and then it will produce chemicals to make us feel sick.
Yeah.
So we will stop trying to poke it in the arse.
Yeah.
It will do that. It will eat us.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Until we get out of its territory. And then it will relax. You've got to use that metaphor, as above, so below. You know? And reflections of everything. So, if that's how the mind is operating, then we've got to throw a leash on the basket.
Yeah.
And just because we didn't know about that before,
well,
now that we do know about that, we just can't afford to go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Because we know that if we do go back to sleep, the mind and the body is perfectly capable of creating a future for us, because it's got one to go off.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't have to think of anything. It just looks at the reflection and reproduces it.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And
that's the program.
If we're asleep.
And everybody's saying, get with the program. That's the program.
That's the program. And they're all asleep while they're saying that. Because they're just reproducing exactly what happened before.
Yeah.
And that's why they're so strong on, the message is so strong on being in the present moment. It's the only way we can get in front of that. Because otherwise, unless we kill ourselves, then the only other thing was we will just start to reproduce our old life.
Yeah.
If we're not dead, that's what we will do. Right? If we don't get up from the wall outside that shop and brush ourselves off and, and clear our mind and start thinking powerful, positive thoughts, if we don't do that, we're going to stay sitting against the wall of that shop looking for bumpers and, asking people for $1. Right?
Yeah.
Unless we do that.
Yep.
That's exactly, unless we die.
Yep.
Then it will change.
Yep.
But if we don't die, then the only other thing that's going to happen is that nothing will change.
Yeah.
because the mind and the body will still keep going on producing the future
Yep.
out of the reflection, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what it works with. Like I've seen it so clearly now. This is like today, the mirror thing.
You and I have had these talks before, and there are little supernatural confirmations along the way that something in the matrix of the universe is responding to this sort of positivity. I don't know, the light is coming from within, or is the light coming from out there, or combination? Because if this is sort of like a daily sort of a meditation conversing within spiritual high intelligence. And next thing, what I can see in my mind is like that door is just right there. You can open and you can see into the eternities, or holograms appear from space and time, and you're just suddenly surrounded. In other words, the walls, the ceiling disappear. Next minute, we're in this sort of a spiritual dimension. That can happen. I mean, I've heard stories about this, and that's a
Look at it like this.
yeah. And then you know you're on the right track. Well, without being fooled by false angels and
Look at it like
light,
this.
but you know what I mean.
They're telling us that everything is energy. Okay?
Energy.
Everything.
Yeah.
And even Jesus said that. Okay.
Yep.
He said, look, when they said, tell you, when all the followers, when all the people were calling out, you know, Jesus, Hosanna, Hosanna.
Yep.
And the Pharisee said, tell these people to shut up.
Yep.
And he said, listen, if these people weren't crying out, these rocks would be crying out. Okay. So in other words, and now science is telling us that even the rocks, everything is movement. Everything.
Yes.
There's
Molecules, particles.
There's no such thing as solidity in the universe.
Yep.
Everything is waveform. Okay? Even the tiniest little particle is still a waveform right inside this atom. Okay? That's what they tell us. Everything is frequency and vibration. It just appears solid, but it's not really.
Yeah.
Okay? It's just all frequencies, light.
What's keeping it together? Gravity.
Well, well, if you want to look into the physics of it, there's laws that are holding everything together.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But at the heart of everything is vibration. And if you break
Same with our bodies.
everything.
Mind,
If you had a
spirit,
piece of stone and you broke it down to its smallest part, and then you got that smallest part and had a look inside that smallest part, you would see vibrations. All right?
Yeah.
Frequency
String
inside the
theory.
smallest part of a stone, it would be moving. Right at the very heart of an atom of a stone, it's moving inside the atom. All right? It looks solid on the outside, but inside the atom, and the stone is made up of all these atoms, inside the atom, it's moving. Right? So everything's moving. All right? So they're telling us it's all vibration. Now, we take a lens, you know, any kind of lens, say, okay, any lens, magnifying glass, all right?
Yep.
Or any kind of lens. So you're holding a lens here. If you had a bit of paper here, then if you're holding a lens up, what you would see on the paper is that image of, say, if I am holding a lens here and a bit of paper there, and holding it up in this room, you look at that bit of paper and you would see the door, the blinds, okay, you would see what's in the room on that bit of paper, wouldn't you?
Yep.
On any lens, that's how a lens works, right?
Yep.
Okay, and depending on the focal length, brings it in and out of focus, right? Blurry, nice and clear, blurry, clear, right? But the picture appears on that paper.
Dots.
But it appears on that paper,
yeah.
right? Okay? Now, when you think about it, you have a lens, say this big, all right? This round. If I was holding it there, and if I had a bit of paper there, all right, I would be looking on that bit of paper and I would see the image of that room, of the room.
Yeah.
Okay? It's all going to come through. Now, listen to this. All that information, all right, goes into that lens, all right? This little lens. All that information goes into that lens. And it goes down to one point, okay,
Yeah.
to the focal point inside the lens, right, to the singularity inside the lens. Now, a mathematician named Fourier, about 300 years ago, worked out the maths. It's called a Fourier transform, right? And he worked out the mathematics of how that information goes into that lens, goes down to an infinitesimal point, and then comes out and gets reproduced on that bit of paper, okay? So all that information, all right, all of it, billions and billions and billions of bits of data of information, okay, like light and shadow and everything, okay, and the shapes, everything, goes down to one tiny little point deep in the heart of the lens, all right?
Okay.
All of it goes to one point, and then it gets reproduced, all right? So that's energy can be pressed into the lens, and then being reproduced, all right? Now, you could say that we are like a lens, all right? So
a conduit.
Well, there's all this energy that can be focused inside of us, all right? But then it goes out, and it's like the two movies. Which picture do you want to appear on the bit of paper? You know what I mean? It has to go, the information has to go into the lens
so
first.
The vibration you put out,
it goes
produces
in first
that
before
movie.
It hits the paper.
Yeah.
So information is going into our lens, but there's that point where we decide how it's going to come out, which movie it's going to project.
That's it. Yeah.
Right? And most people are just running the movie of their life.
Yeah.
Right? They're not stopping the movie at any point and saying, let's have a look at this. But we can do that. You and me can do that right now. Okay? And anyone can do that, but anyone is not here. It's just you and me here.
Yeah.
All right? But that's the truth. That's what's really going on.
Yep.
Okay? We're taking in information, we're compressing it and condensing it, all right? And then we're transforming it, all right? And we choose, but if we're asleep, the mind and the body
take over.
Yeah, because it's already got the information, all right? So it knows all it has to do is a mathematical treatment on that information and produce the future, the picture on the paper. It's the laws of the universe.
But this is still getting out to make the change, get out of our head into our heart.
Yeah, that's what we have to do.
And produce this
a new
quantum
movie,
physics effect.
A new movie.
Yeah.
Now,
it's a choice, isn't it?
Yeah, but we want God to give us our movie, our new movie, all right? We want to know what movie He's got planned for us, not the movie that our body and mind is making, right? It's not its fault. It's just doing its thing. And if we don't touch it, it will do its thing.
Yep.
And we'll die, right? That's the movie of the world, all right? But they're telling us that there's not going to have to be like that.
Yeah.
Okay? And we can get in front of that. And we can plug into the new movie, but we can't use our heads to do it, all right? We have to use humility and gratitude to plug into the source of the new movie, the power for the real new movie. Are you with me?
Yep.
Instead of just, because the actor who decides to stay in character at the end of a movie and to change his life, he's going to have to sweat fucking buckets of blood to make that happen. Because straight away all his old friends are going to come up and expect him to be someone else. And for him to pretend to be someone else, he's going to lose all those friends. Most of them anyway. Yeah. Because most of them aren't going to accept, oh, what are you talking about? No, where's the old Johnny? Come on, let's go down to the pub. Come on, we've got a footy game on Saturday. Oh, I can't fuck with you. Okay? So then, straight away. So he's going to have to work really hard to stay in character, if he wants to stay in that. Okay, and it's not going to get any easier for him for quite a while, because he's going to keep meeting people who are expecting him to be who they knew, right? So until a certain amount of time, that's the time lag thing.
Yeah.
Okay, because we do exist in this thing called time, in this dimension called time.
Yeah.
Okay? A certain part of us does react to time. Right? So, but if he hangs in there, if he's really committed, all right, as time goes by and he meets more and more new people who don't know didn't meet the old person, his life will start to then be he'll be that new person, because he'll get support for that, because these new people that he's met think that's him, right? And his life will then, and he'll be that person, right?
Yep.
And eventually it'll be really easy, and then one day he'll catch himself thinking about how he used to be. And you think, oh yeah, I used to be like that. Then I had this movie, and I decided to change my character, and yeah, that's how I'm living now. Oh, yes. And it'll be like that, right? If he sticks with it and endures the hardships that it's going to take to be that new character, all right? So if we decide now today that we want to try and make a new movie, it's not going to be easy. The lion is going to try to fucking eat us.
Exactly.
Right? Because it doesn't like anyone messing with its fucking territory. And it's really powerful. And what they're not talking about is how powerful that is, that lion, and what that lion is. They're just telling us it's our mind and our programs, right? And they're just leaving it there, because these days we don't talk about the other side of it. It's just about our power, right? Whereas once upon a time, it was lots of talk about Sludge Boy, right? But it was still ineffective because the world didn't change. And now they're talking about our power, but they're not talking about, see, once it was God's power and Sludge Boy. Now it's our power and no Sludge Boy. See, the rhetoric has shifted, the narrative has shifted, all right?
Yeah.
And unless you and I are very careful, we will get swept up in the new narrative like anyone else. You've got to be careful.
Just step out of the door.
Well, just testing the spirits.
Yeah.
What we're doing is testing the spirits. So this is the new narrative. So we're testing the spirits.
Yep.
We're not going along with, oh, this is the new thing. Okay, so that's how it is now, right? We're not doing that. We're saying, oh, okay, so this is the new story. Well, let's have a look at that. All right? We're not saying, oh, so that's it now. Oh, okay, let's do that. We're not doing that. We're sitting back in this new moment, assessing the information and trying to work out what's good information and what's bad information. All right? And understanding that the only place we'll get the stuff that we need to get is we won't get it from out there. All right?
Yep.
All we get out there is the movie.
Information.
Everyone else's movie.
Yeah.
Right? And the big movie of the world is hell. Right?
Yeah.
And the distraction and the deceiving people that were not in hell. Right? Just get some money and you'll be all right.
Retirement plan.
Yeah, don't worry about hell.
Die
You don't have to be in hell.
Nothing.
You can have some money. Right?
Yeah.
You know, so there's no hell if you've got money.
Ignorance is bliss. Yeah.
So, yeah, right. So they don't see hell because it's not in their immediate vicinity because they've got money and security and gated estates and fucking, you know,
right.
Get away from my heaven. To your hell, you bastard.
Yeah.
I'm in heaven here. I'll fucking kill you.
Yeah.
If you try to come into my heaven, get back to hell.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying, all right?
Territory.
Oh, get back to hell.
Bit like that bloody Robert Breaker. He was doing a YouTube preaching, and he had his bow and arrow ready to kill a deer while he was preaching. Gunslinger he was, or whatever. Just hypocrisy. But yeah.
So you and me.
Territory. Yeah.
I know there's 8 billion people out there, but there's only 2 in this room right now.
That's true.
Okay?
Yeah.
So it's important, really important. It's like the most important thing that you and I get in front of this right now, because if not now, when? If we don't do it now, when?
But we are doing it now to some degree.
We've got to keep doing it.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
We've got to keep doing it, and this is the thing, right? But we have to understand how to keep doing it, and having conversations like this is the way to go. We're trying to work out.
But when we're on our own, what do we do?
Well, this is why.
The monkey chat, you know?
Yeah, we've got to. That's why I said I hope that when I go home, things are different for both of us. That we don't go back to the old life, right? I'm really reluctant to finish this conversation because it's feeling really good. I'm feeling in a place of freedom. But I kind of know what's waiting for me since I opened that door.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't want to rush out there. You know what I mean? This space right now is kind of like rarefied and holy. And that's why I want to die right now. You know, that would be the best outcome for me. There's a lightning bolt. As
believers, yeah.
You know, right now. Perfect. Because, you know, I don't want to go out there.
So who needs all these distractions?
Hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just me thinking about wanting it to go away is not going to make it go away.
And the biggest temptation of all is, for most people? Boredom. They get bored, so they choose this pleasure thing and take them right away.
What's even more obscene than that?
What?
Rich people get bored.
Rich people get bored? Oh, no.
You know what? James Packer had $13 billion and he was depressed.
And he broke it off with Mariah Carey.
He was depressed.
Yeah.
With $13 billion, he was depressed.
And probably.
So that's so there's another story going on, mate. Otherwise, all those rich people in the world would have given us a different world. It'd be paradise. Wouldn't it be nice if they were the elite of paradise instead of the elite of a bucket of shit?
And why don't people that's humble, as your example is, why can't people like us get that sort of money?
This is it. So it's where you and I are having a sacred conversation and trying to strip the floss off right now at 2023 in this room. Okay? Because for thousands of years, they've been talking about the sludge boy, and now all of a sudden they're not, right?
No.
He's left the scene, okay? Yeah. You've got to really hunt to get information about him.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, they're glossing over it.
Whereas he used to be first and foremost.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go to hell, you sinner. Right? So, for thousands of years, I know about the devil. Hell,
well, even your dad.
Yeah, I'm going to hell. You know, so... but now, I mean, if you try to talk about hell, you get arrested. You know? It's almost like that.
Yeah.
Whereas once upon a time, that was the topic of the day, of the week, of the year. Hell, heaven, right?
Yeah.
Now, you mention it, look out. You don't say that.
Yeah.
Right? So, if we can get in front of that and see how the story is shifted.
Yep.
And not buy into it, because here we are in this moment, and if we allowed our mind to just look at that mirror of everything, it's just going to reproduce that.
Same old thing.
So we don't want to do that. So now the new story is there's no hell. All right, that's a distraction. Now, there used to be hell to distract people from the hell that's there. Now there's no hell at all, right? Not out there or later on.
No.
So it's kind of moved on. You know, so Sludge Boy is really kind of he's really working in secret, all right? He's not exposed.
Subtle, more subtle.
Yeah, really, really subtle now.
Yeah, he's
really
had thousands of years.
Because
yeah.
he's not constantly being thrown into the story like he used to be, right?
Yeah.
He's not. So.
Yeah.
So, and that could be.
The devil doesn't even want people to know that he exists. So for a reason you told me before.
Well, for a long time, he was okay with that, but I'm thinking that that was a distraction.
Yeah.
To stop people from realizing that we were in there. All those priests in the churches and everything, we didn't realize that they were the demons.
Yeah.
Right? We thought they were the priests.
Yeah.
But they were the demons. Telling us about hell, which was somewhere else.
A demon casting out demons.
Well, just the demon confusing and deceiving people into thinking that hell is not here, it's somewhere else. Right? But really it's here when all those actions, all those people and all that, the fucking Inquisition, they would torture people for days, see how much pain they could endure right before they died. This is the Inquisition. The Catholics, right?
Yeah.
So, is that not hell? People being
that's
tortured.
worse than hell, in a sense.
So
it's pain.
But while this is going on, they're telling everybody that hell is somewhere else. Right? For 2,000 years they did that, telling us that hell is somewhere else. Behind the scenes, hell was right there. Okay, right there. It wasn't anywhere else, but they spun this thing that it's somewhere else.
I saw this movie once. It was a great classic, and this ghost kept appearing to this girl because she was a famous opera singer, and he's in it. Excuse me, got a cough, and he'd appear as a ghost and put his hands inside of her and play with her liver and her heart and everything, and she'd get all aroused. And one day he said, because they're in the theatre room, see, because she kind of lives at the back of the theatre. She's a famous opera singer. And one day he causes the big curtain up the top, the whole framework to fall down and kill her, so he can get her in the next life and have sex and everything. He's a stupid ghost. And of course, what happens? She dies, and she's standing there and says, "You're mine now." And she goes straight to the light. She gets taken up to heaven. He's still a ghost, and he's a lonely ghost. He says, "Oh, I'm in hell," because he was happy because he had this opera singer that he was in love with, molesting her every night. And he said, "No, that's hell," because now he was all alone. He thought he could get her in the next world as a lover. A stupid movie, but it's funny too.
If you want to, we've had this conversation before about if there is a hell after this, right?
Yeah.
It would be that.
It'd be what?
It would be that.
Being alone, separated.
God's gone.
Oh, God's gone, which means it'll be cold, like ice hot cold.
He would be gone.
And then you'd be lonely.
That would
forever.
Because right now, got the angels and.
And we're living in a world where you can go to pleasure to numb the pain.
But we've got he's there. It's grace. We're in a period of grace, okay?
Yep.
But once that's gone, and you didn't go, that's what we're talking about, hell. You don't have to, it's nothing to do with fire and brimstone and he's gone. The angels have gone, the warmth, the grace is gone,
grace is gone.
He's gone, and the children have gone, and you didn't go.
I can feel that.
You see these real gruesome looking thugs coming down the street, and God's gone, and there's no help at all because he's gone. Whereas once upon a time, when the little person saw the thugs come down the street, they could get on their knees and they could find that inspiration. They could find the little child, and God would send the angels. This time, no. No
pleasure, nothing.
There's no help. He can't get down on the knees and cry because he's gone. He's not there. Whereas once, he would have sent the angels. If that person sincerely got down on their knees,
scary.
Okay, God, please help me. He would send the angels to help me, right? But this time, that person does the same thing, gets down, finds the same sort of sincerity but there's no angels to come. There's no
Ever.
hell. Ever. It's gone. That's it. That would be hell. That's what I see as hell.
Wow,
Okay.
I agree with you.
He's gone.
I agree with you.
And you're just left with the reality of your mind and your body.
What you've created, the
things that you have made
program,
out of your choices and put into that mirror.
Yeah.
That's what's getting produced.
And that's why we need to
greed, anger, fucking, you know what I mean? Indifference, ignorance. That will be all you can make. There will be nothing new.
And would you have a body as well in hell? Like you get resurrected and then you get sentenced off to this hell. You got a physical body, but you got no satisfaction, no pleasure, no nothing, just anguish, misery.
That's too much.
Too much, all right.
That's too much head stuff.
Yeah.
Just the idea that if there is more of a hell than what we've got here,
that will be
I imagine that would be it.
Yeah, separation.
He's gone, and you know he's gone.
The Father has gone. And
you can feel that he's gone. They've all gone.
No praying can get it back.
Nothing.
No touch with a child within. Yeah.
Forever. Not coming back.
And what sort of people will go there?
But you knew that. You knew it was forever.
Yeah.
You knew that he was gone. And that you had your whole life to change and to kind of like, you know, try to get some wisdom and try to get some humility and try to get some gratitude. But you spent your whole life resisting because of the, you know, because of all the reasons why. And then all of a sudden, you realise that you missed your chance.
Yeah, I get it.
And he's
I get
gone.
And what about these preachers that say you once saved, always saved, you now believe in Christ, died, resurrected on the third day, and if you keep this in memory, you shall have eternal life, and they do nothing. They do nothing to actually help people.
I laugh at anyone who's trying to tell me something with that particular tone of voice, right? That this is how it is. I just laugh at them. I don't care how expensive their fucking tie is. That means nothing to me. I don't care if they've got a $5 billion tie. I'll use it to wipe my ass. Thank you very much. Give me that tie. I'll wipe my ass. Right? So that's all it means to me.
Yeah.
And if they're trying to tell me something about this is how it is, yeah, good on you, buddy. Right? Because I'm 64.
Yeah, and I'm 62.
Yeah, so
and we've got
to get in front of this.
Yeah.
We're not little kids anymore. Oh, so that's what's, listen to him, listen to him, listen to that, We're not little kids anymore, right?
No.
And if we don't get in front of this now, see,
do you believe we can lose our salvation once we accept Jesus Christ? Am I going somewhere out of...
In this moment,
the
best thing is if I died right now, that would probably be a good thing.
Yeah.
But I just want to make sure that the next, like I said, when I go home.
Yeah. You're not going to stuff it up.
That's Don't you see your head and my head? This is what the lion does. This is how it. We're poking it in the arse right now, okay?
Okay.
So this is how it's biting us. Thoughts. This is what it's got. This is how it bites us, with thoughts, okay? Because that's its territory, the mind. Its mind is its territory that it's patrolling around, okay? All right? And it walks slowly around the mind, all right? Looking for anything that's going to disturb its territory.
And devour.
So what we're doing right now is we're fucking poking and we're jumping up and down in its territory. All right? Now, immediately it's going to start telling us to shut the fuck up. All right? Leave it alone. I will bite you if you try to upset me.
Yeah.
Leave it alone. Be quiet. I know what I have to do. I've got my behaviours, my habits, my speech patterns all worked out, and I've got it all under control, and I'm patrolling everything. Everything's right. Leave me the fuck alone.
And that's the thing that's going to drag you down to hell.
That's the thing that's creating the hell. There is no hell to be dragged down to. I told you, it's right there.
Yeah, right.
So it's creating it now. But the distraction from Sludge Boy,
Satan.
which is another level below this, which they don't want to go there. All right, but you and me are going there. Okay. You can see how that's a distraction to keep people away from looking at, we've got hell now. That's why it doesn't change. Because people think that
they can't fix it. Yeah.
Can't fix it. It's the way it is.
Yeah, right.
But they do have the choice to fix it. They could right now. Everyone in the world could suddenly just, okay, let's make the world a paradise. We could all get a job as an actor and make a new movie and be a different person, because we all have that power within us. We can do it for a fucking movie, right? But we can't do it for real life, because it's not real life. It's just a movie that's really ingrained and it's hard to change it. Like I said, that actor, if he wants to stay in character, it's not going to be easy for him, because all these lions are going to come and disturb him.
Wow.
But if he's got if he really, 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 really wants to be that new personality, he will do it. He can do it. Okay? He's got the power to do that. But it's really hard. All right?
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen to us after this conversation, after I go home. All right? Our whole life is going to demand that we continue with the story. It's going to demand that, right?
Built into us.
It's built in. But it's the physics. They're telling us now it's the physics of things. It's not woo-woo. It's not spooky.
The carnal blood.
But it's physics.
Yeah, right.
Our memories are stored in our mind, right? And if we do not do anything to disturb the process, the mind will use those memories, that mirror effect, to create the next minute, the next moment. That's what it's got to go off.
Yeah.
Because and then to make sure that happens, it tells us, oh, that's the way it is. You can't change anything. This is how it is, right? Yeah. That's the lion biting you when you try to poke it in the arse.
And it fears death too, doesn't it?
It fears change.
Yeah.
Anything in its territory. It doesn't fear death. It's a fucking lion. Right?
Oh, it's Braveheart.
Yeah. It's like, you fuck with me, mate, I'll kill you. But if you leave me alone, everything will be all right.
So which part of us fears death?
That's the lion biting us. Just leave it alone.
Oh.
All of that stuff is it biting us to leave it the fuck alone.
The sting of death.
Leave me alone and everything will be calm. If you try to make changes in my territory, I will attack you. I will use whatever means I have to attack you. And the means that it has are thoughts and chemicals. All right? It produces certain chemicals in the brain to make us feel to make our body feel a certain way, which will then make us think certain thoughts, which will then produce certain emotions, which will then produce more chemicals. And it's an endless feedback loop, right? And that's why nothing changes, because the thought produces a chemical, which produces an emotion, which produces another chemical, right? Which goes along, which is sympathetic with that.
Even feel-good chemicals. That's
the lure. The pleasure chemical.
Oh.
That's what it will pull out. Look, I will produce these pleasure chemicals if you stop thinking this way, right? I will make you feel like this if you leave me alone.
Even feel...
Yeah, I will create a future for you where you can have these chemicals.
Even to be a false prophet is a lure. I'll give you this. I'll give you a platform. You have the glory. Become as gods and... All that, even that's a distraction.
Thoughts. It's using those thoughts. Yeah. Any thought.
Anything. And it gives you pleasure.
Kill your mother. Yeah. You know, sell her eyes. Anything. It doesn't matter. Right? If it thinks that's we're gonna get you to leave it alone.
Yeah.
And stop making changes to the program, to the territory that I'm walking around. It also makes sense. But if you don't see the body like this, you'll never get that. You just won't get any, nothing will change.
And what happens if people don't change and they don't get it and they die?
Well, you get that. What's out, you get hell.
Yeah.
And that's why we've got hell on earth.
Okay.
And Sludge Boy, who was creating it basically, has sold us this story that hell is somewhere else, so that people don't realize that they're creating hell now.
Yeah.
Because they think it's somewhere else.
So people who have created this heaven for themselves, but they don't care for the poor or help people, they don't worry about that because they're still going to be saved. So they don't worry about it. But are they saved?
No, that's what I mean. So,
Am I going back into headspace?
well, this is
the question.
This is the question that's kind of, or the answer is above our pay grade. Why we're not in paradise? Why we got kicked out of the garden? You know what I mean? What's going to get us back there? That's the $60,000 question. Right?
Okay.
We don't have that. No one has that. Otherwise, we'd have paradise. All right.
Okay, the real paradise.
You and I are sitting here right now at 4:24 on the 27th of June in 2023. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, we've never been this old before, and we'll never be this young again. But here we are in this moment. We have our life's experiences, and they've all got their experiences. Okay. Now, the future is not here yet. All right. So, what you and I are trying to do is to chuck the fucking handbrake on, shut those cameras down, all right? That's showing the old movie, all right? We're trying to throw a leash on that lion, but the only way we can do that is to be bigger and stronger and smarter, okay, than the lion, okay?
Yeah.
But we have to understand that. We have to know that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do. At the moment, our lion is still untamed. It's still wild, all right?
Yeah.
We can't approach it,
Yep.
all right? But we're trying to learn how to approach it so we can tame it. That's where you and I are right now, all right? But at least we're there. We're not totally ignorant of what's going on, you know? That we're not blindly walking past the lion and not seeing it and not realizing what's going on.
Well, you know how the Bible says the only way demons can come out is through fasting or something? Do we need to fast to get rid of that line? To sort of escape it?
Yeah, well, see, this is where it comes down to the new movie.
Yeah.
All right? So, if we go back to doing exactly what we were doing before, not much is going to change for us, okay? We're just going to keep having these conversations, all right? Well, if we don't do anything, all right?
Yeah.
But, so what did you say? What did you question?
I said the Bible says that these demons will not come out except through fasting.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder how can we escape the line? Do we need to fast?
So
what?
It's a big story, okay? So to put a new movie in there, it's not easy. All right, we've been there, okay? It's great that we're talking like this. All right, that's great. I'd much rather be talking like this than not talking like this. You know what I mean? At least we're talking like this. We're trying to strip everything off, strip the nonsense off, okay? Humbly as little children, actually trying to do that. We're trying to shut the head down and get something solid to throw a rope on around this thing, okay? Finally at our age. So we're really trying to do that. So, so from where we go from here is that's what it's all about, what we're going to do in the future. Now, we've got our whole life that we our personality that we're trying to change, all right, which is not easy. It's not easy to turn a big ship, all right? But food is definitely a part of it, all right? Definitely a part of it. Breathing is a part of it, all right? Breathing and food are definitely a part of it, all right?
Yep.
Self-discipline is a huge part of it.
Okay.
All right.
Food, breathing, self-discipline. These are the things we could.
Yeah, because the self-discipline thing that's the hardest thing, because that's when you're trying to tame the lion. All right.
Yeah.
That's why it's so hard. So, but if you understand that it's not you, it's the lion, it's the mind that is not you, right? It's your mind, and you are asleep, right? And it's your mind that's doing things, and it knows its territory. It knows what it has to do. It knows exactly what it has to do, and it will kill and fight and eat anything that tries to interfere with it, right?
Yeah.
Now, that's what we've got inside us. Now, if you want to take us under this, keep going down, that's from when they used to talk about sludge boy, all right? That was the metaphor that was used, all right? So this is what we've got inside of us, the proof of that is what's outside that door.
Yep.
All right? You open that door and you can see that what the lion inside of everybody has produced.
Yep.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're running amok.
Yeah, you don't, it's a certain thing and you can't mess with it. All right? It's a certain thing, but it's not what we're talking about. It's something else. Okay.
And what about the territory of false light and people that are distracted by the world, and yet they've got all this false light and platforms and religious things going on? Is that also part of the line, roaring?
See, straight away, it's about you. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
It's about you. In this moment, what does the future hold for you? Not what it holds for anyone else. Doesn't matter about what it holds for anyone else.
All right.
Your concern is what it holds for you.
Yeah.
Why are you interested in what it holds for someone else?
Okay, well then I have to apply it to myself.
Yeah,
what about
it's all about you?
All my adventures and my travels over the world, and I'm not thinking God so much, or maybe I am, but I've found an intimacy with nature, shamanism, and I'm at peace and everything, but I'm still giving myself the pleasure, and I'm not really going deep. What is that?
Comes down to, we have to change our whole personality.
Yeah,
included in that is the things we eat, the way we breathe, the words we speak, our actions that we make, our mannerisms and our behaviours and our addictions and our dependencies. All of that has to change, right? Because if we don't change it, the reason why we don't change it is because the lion doesn't want us to fucking change, right? Because it's got its territory. It knows what it eats. It knows what it drinks. It knows what its habits are. It knows where it goes and what it does. Leave it alone. Don't mess with me. I will kill you. Right? See, walks the earth as a roaring lion, seeking who it can. And that, it's got the prince of the air, has control of the mind. Now, these days, lots of talk about the mind, but no talk about sludge boy. All right? But you and I are talking about it.
Sludge boy.
Trying to find the real truth, because you've got all these people talking about how much, the power and everything, but it's still in hell. We're still in hell. Nothing has changed.
Yeah.
So what that the narrative has changed? We're still in hell.
Yeah. Walking past the wounded man to
we're
get
still
to a
doing
temple.
that.
Yeah.
So
like the bloody Mormons.
So we can't afford to kind of like plug into it. But they are all giving us information. Everybody's got a little bit of it. right?
Yeah.
And the idea is that this information comes in and then we process it, okay? And all the stuff that we're talking about, it's about processing the information, but understanding what's really going in. It's just information. It's not information from God. It's information from the world. So the mind takes this in, and then our heart asks God to interpret it for us and make sense of it. But people leave their mind to interpret it and make sense of it. And the mind looks in the mirror and says, okay, I can make sense of this. I can see what happened before. This is what will happen tomorrow, because there's the reflection, right? But if we understand that,
Wow.
we get inspiration from a higher source. But we've got to change everything. And look, the diet, exercise, breathing, it's all a part of it.
Discipline.
It's not enough for us to just sit here and have this conversation, because, I mean, it's great that we are having this conversation. I would much rather be having this conversation than not having it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when I go home, is it all going to go to waste, this conversation? You know, it's just... So...
Good point.
We've got to make sure... Yeah, see, because this is what's been happening our whole life, and this is what... For 2,000 years, people have been going to church every Sunday, getting the sermon, and then going home and just nothing.
Watch the TV sport.
And think about hell being somewhere else, not outside their door.
Exactly. Amen, brother.
Right?
Amen. Exactly.
Watch the sport.
Yeah.
And all that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
With the politicians.
Yep.
All this big distraction.
Yep. That's why
from the priest.
I don't like going to any church that don't talk about the Lord
You've
afterwards.
got these demons up there telling people that, you know, if they're not careful, they'll go to hell.
Yeah, step out of line.
But they're saying that from hell, actually they're in hell. There's just a big lie. Deceit.
Mormons are telling you go to hell.
Deceit.
Yeah, for not
deceit right from the start.
Yeah.
Deceit was the first thing. Deceived. He is a liar and a deceiver. There's no truth in you from the start. So it's all deceit.
Yep.
There's nothing original. You know, it's just a corruption of what is.
Or the original sin.
No.
But
sin was just a corruption of what is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the purest stuff is still in there, but the sin is all around it, a corruption, but it's still there.
I like what you said, don't let any man teach you. No man should have any authority and power over us, not even a judge in Israel or a bloody a priest or anyone. You know what I mean? You've been out of the church for 20 years. You come and talk to me first. Get permission, get up and give a testimony of Jesus after 20 years, as if I'm a criminal. Like getting out of jail, you can't get a job, you'd be shunned. That's not Christianity, that's religion.
I watch quite a lot of videos about Jerusalem and let's go under the wall and all that stuff, and the archaeology and everything like that. And I see them all the time, those Hasidic Jews at the Western Wall with their...
they're very disciplined, but in the wrong way.
And it's all with their... They're all dressed the
same. Little box on their head.
And so, that's only some of them. The others got the flat one and the ponytail, but they're all kind of
rocking,
reading, and and all doing that.
Repetitious.
And they're all, some of them are, like 60, 70 with beards. And, and they're all... And
knocking on the veil to get to heaven.
He's got his Torah and he's doing and I look at all that and it looks like a fucking cartoon.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Same with the Muslims. Thousands of them in their mosque all kneeling down.
One I was working security, and one got the sack from the job, lost his job because he was praying during a robbery, and I'm going off arresting the Aboriginal woman that stole a purse. He lost his job and he had a wife and 6 kids. He's crying his eyes out. Oh, but I was only praying to Allah. You're in my country, mate. You're in my country. You obey the rules. We're in your country. We got to obey your rules.
There's a famous rugby player here in Australia, okay?
Yeah.
But he's a Muslim, right? And because he's got quite a lot of money because he's a big sportsman.
Yeah.
But he's paying to have a mosque built, right?
Oh.
And the neighbours don't want him to build a mosque there. And he says about, I just want to build a building for my beautiful religion. You know,
Sick of that.
So, like I said, it starts at that door.
Yeah.
Right now, it's not in this room.
Yeah.
All right?
Yep.
And it's a great feeling. That's why I'm really fucking reluctant. That's why I'm hanging back. Because I know what's waiting for me. It's just...
Me too,
almost,
in a sense, you know, because...
So, that's why I want to try and... I want to feel that we're at a certain place, at a new place, before I go, you know? I don't want us to be in the old place. We're 64.
Yeah, you've sacrificed a lot to get there.
15, we're not kids.
No.
If we don't...
When I'm 64, that's a song. When I'm 64, yeah.
If we don't get it together now, when? When?
When you're dead?
No?
Yeah.
But
wow.
We can't rely on anyone to tell us how to do it, because it doesn't come from the head. It comes from shutting down the head, right? The tree of knowledge, cutting down the tree of knowledge and going over to the tree of life. Walking past that tree of knowledge and saying, no, I'm going to the tree of life. That's what
Keep talking, I've got to go to the toilet. Keep talking, brother. I can hear you. Yeah, go on. Keep talking. I can hear you.
Oh, I'm just going with the flow.
Just hold a second. Yeah, getting out of your head and into your heart.
Yeah.
All right, mate.
Here's the thought experiment. Here's the thought experiment. Remember how when we were in primary school, right?
Yep.
And if we knew that we had a bus excursion the next day, we're going somewhere on the bus, right?
Yep.
That was a big moment, wasn't it? That was a big, that was really something.
A journey, adventure,
really something to look forward to, right? Okay? Well, every morning when we wake up, every second of our life, that's how we're supposed to feel about life.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yep.
That excitement of something new.
Yep.
Something amazing is going to happen. That's how we're supposed to feel every moment. Every moment.
Touch the sky.
Every moment. We're supposed to feel like that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is going to be great.
Wake up and
we're supposed to feel like that right now. About life. If we don't feel like that now, when are we going to feel like that? And I've got to believe that it's not bullshit that we can feel like that, because there's too much smoke. But I haven't got that, but got the awareness that there's too much smoke for me to dismiss that, to shut all that down, right? So I'm in that period where I'm making the movie right now. The cameras are on, okay?
Yeah.
And I know,
it sure is.
but the cameras are on right now.
Yeah.
But when the cameras go off, that's when it's going to get really hard to stay in character because of all that we talked about. Because the old life is just going to beckon everything. The whole environment is going to scream. The lion is going to say, okay, leave me, get out of my territory now. I want to patrol my territory and see everything's okay. And if you continue, see, while you're making the movie, you can tame the lion because it's for money. It's for a purpose. right? It's reason, meaning, okay? You can use that to tame the lion, and it will let you, right? But it accepts that it's only for a short period of time, right? So, and as soon as the movie's finished, the lion says, okay, now that's enough, right? And that's when it gets hard. So right now, you and I are making a new movie. Okay, we're writing a new movie. We're planning a new movie, writing the script. All right. So, but we're in we're in it. We're writing it and we're directing it and producing it right now. Okay, our new movie. All right. So the cameras are on, but the cameras are going to shut down as soon as I leave. All right. The second I walk out of the door, that's the end of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
And you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like that. But that's how dynamic life is, right? But
yeah, all our fears, worries.
We've got to start there with that awareness. We've got to start somewhere, don't we?
Yeah.
We've got to start somewhere, and here we are right now. Well, let's start here. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking of Jamie in Nepal. He just couldn't stand being in Australia. It's too structured. He's got his little bit of money saved up from his investments. He goes over there, contributes to water wells for the people, for schools. I've seen his videos, mate, and all the children love him. And he's living very simple. And he goes to the Himalaya mountains, absolute freezing, you know. He loves it, but I wouldn't go there. It's just too cold. But he is just like a child on steroids doing what he does. But when he was here, he was bored. He's depressed. He just felt he wasn't functional. But then again, he is Buddhist. He's not Christian, but he believes in all this meditation stuff and going to higher levels. But,
Yeah, you can't...
He's making his movie.
You can't really talk to a Buddhist about sludge boy because
No.
he'd just say that's a state of mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just something that you're creating. You know, it's like...
Yeah. And he wakes up in the morning and touches the sky. He loves nature. He loves the culture and the people, the simplicity, and he feels like he's successful because he's Westerner. But over here, he felt like nothing, you know.
See, like, there can't be any judgment on Jamie.
No, he's a great guy.
But on what he's doing, there can't be any judgment. The thing is, right now, because obviously we're all in hell, all right? Like I said, it's just out there.
Yeah.
But individually around the world, people can carve out little pockets of peace, like we're doing now.
Yeah, little pockets of peace, yeah.
So that's got a lot to do with it, the search for peace, right? Now, if Jamie is finding peace doing what he's doing, it's not for you or I to say he shouldn't be doing that, all right? If he's finding a peace. The most important thing for you is, are you finding peace?
Right.
Okay. However, whether he is or isn't finding peace, if he is, that's great.
He did tell me, he did give me advice before he left. He said, Kirky, if you really want to find this peace, you've got to change your diet. He said the Western diet.
To change your whole personality means changing everything.
Everything.
Not just the food, but everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So, because part of the whole thing is for us to find peace and joy, all right, but real joy, not happiness. Like, oh, I'm so happy I've got lots of things.
Yeah. That's false.
But
exactly.
Inside joy, okay?
Yeah.
And if we're doing something, okay, if Jamie is finding genuine joy in doing what he's doing, well, the last thing we want to do is take that away from him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So good on him, because so many people don't have joy. They only have it's like a temporary happiness in between misery. Okay, I've got money, I'm happy. Oh, I've lost my money, I'm not happy. Oh, I've got money again, I'm happy. Oh, I've lost my money, oh, I'm not happy. Right? So
Yeah.
that's not joy.
No.
Okay?
No.
Joy is, I've got nothing and I'm so grateful because the beautiful creation, the stars, the wind, and I can feel, I'm not dead. So I've got joy.
Yeah.
Right? And this is exactly what I want to be doing right now. And I've got joy, right?
Yeah.
So there's so few people are doing that. I've got joy. They've just got this happiness, this temporary happiness.
That's right.
With money.
Yeah.
All right, but without the money, there's no happiness. That's the story of the world. But there's another story where we can have joy and doesn't depend on money. If Jamie's onto that, well, good on him.
Yeah.
Right? You and I need to be on that, but we're not in Tibet. It's a totally different story.
Yeah.
But we still need to be onto the joy thing. With me?
Yeah.
That's the story that we want. We want the story of joy. Not the story of temporary happiness, how to get temporarily happy by getting some money. All right? That's the story of the world.
Yeah.
But we want the joy. It doesn't depend on whether we've got money or not. We don't need anything. We don't have to have anything. We're starving to death and have lots of joy about it. That's what we want. Okay? So the deeper story. And I want us to understand that the story that we're trying to make is not really a story of lack and poverty and suffering. It's supposed to be a story of infinite abundance and fulfillment and health and sparkles. And that's supposed to be the story, right? And so, but we don't have that right now.
No.
But that's supposed to be what we
John
can get.
John Denver, he was a nature freak. He loved the Lord. He wrote a beautiful music, and then the line got him. You could say he got into his plane, forgot to put fuel in it, and crashed it off the cliffs of California. John Denver was killed. Remember? He for a moment he was brainless. He forgot to fuel his plane when he shot off.
You know what?
He got taken out.
You know what?
What?
Remember Annie's song?
Yeah.
You fill up my senses. He wrote that for Annie, right?
Yeah.
His beautiful wife.
Yeah.
He put her in hospital.
What?
Yeah. I know, it was a shock, isn't
it? There you go. There's the line, the beast right there.
Yeah, he beat the shit out of her. Yeah, beautiful Annie. Beat the fuck.
He wrote the song after that. Annie.
No, he would have written the song before that.
And then he went and beat her up. For what? Human nature.
Beat the shit out of her.
Oh my goodness.
Axl Rose.
I never knew
Guns
that.
N' Roses. Okay.
Who?
You know Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses? A singer, that famous band Guns N' Roses?
Yeah.
Okay. He had 3 beautiful girlfriends. He even married one of them. They were models, supermodels. Put all 3 of them in hospital.
Oh. How all that inspiration, music that touches the soul, the heart, and this happens.
What about celebrities who've got 50 million in the bank and a big mansion, and they decide, suicide's the best option here, or I'm going to just take myself out. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
The lion.
That's deadly.
That same lion is in you and me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if we don't understand that, but apparently something magical happens when we do understand that.
Yeah.
Because
put a different vibration frequency.
Yeah, and it starts to tame the lion. That's how we tame it.
We wake up and the lion starts to go and sleep a bit.
Starts to get
until
tamed.
we step out the door.
Starts to get tamed. It's never going to go to sleep. It never goes to sleep.
No, right.
It doesn't sleep. It just patrols its territory. All right? Never sleeps. But we can tame it. That's the part of the magic, that we can tame the lion.
Right. Wow.
In the Old Testament, that's written as sin lies at the door, and its desire is toward you, but you shall have mastery over it. Right? Sin lies at the door, and its desire is toward you, but you shall have mastery over it. It's exactly, and it's quite right.
Right. Okay, not that you
exactly
have master over you.
Sin lies at the door, right?
Sin lies at the door.
And its desire is toward you, but you shall have mastery over it. And you can say that it is written.
It is written. Whoa! What a statement. That's wisdom.
But that's what's really happening.
Wow.
It's not woo-woo. Right?
No, that's what's really happening.
It's what's really happening. Everything that they're telling us
from
is
ancient
woo-woo.
times.
All that stuff and all these priests and everything, that's all woo-woo. All the stuff on the internet and all the religions and everything.
Yeah.
That's the woo-woo.
Yeah.
But they want to tell us that this is woo-woo, what we're saying. And that's the real stuff. But that's the woo-woo.
There's money in that stuff.
Yeah, that's the fucking woo-woo.
And pleasure.
Everything. But they want to tell us that we've got the wrong idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
my dad used to say, what, your grandmother, she was poor, she's from the poor side of the family. What's all this light coming out of her ass? I mean, she's got nothing. She's a loser. You and your grandmother chatting away. He says, why don't you come down to earth and be it's so like her light was such a shining.
Your old man was just letting his body and mind produce his life.
Yep, attacking the light.
So, but what are you and I going to do? You know? We have to keep doing this for the rest of our life. We have to keep doing this. But it's going to get easier. But it's hard at the beginning, right? Because all of these cultural entities that are in our life, part of our environment, everything about our environment, the people, the places, everything that is in our life is going to demand that we come up, be the same person. Everything is going to... the way, the stuff in our house, the way we talk, the way we move, the way we breathe, the way we eat, everything wants to stay the same. Okay? The lion does not want any disturbances at all. All right? Doesn't want one thing out of place.
And what happens when we get to a nursing home or something like that? The lion's there waiting to bite you.
We've got to get in front of this now. All right, that's why I'm having this conversation. That's why I'm sitting here, all right, talking because stuff I want to do at home, but I just don't feel like it's quite finished. But it will be finished in a minute because I want to go home. But I think we've just about
covered it.
I don't want to let it go without feeling like I've got something solid to take with me because otherwise we've just wasted this.
Well, you inspired me with the music for a start. It's tickling around in my heart. I've got ideas for music because of this conversation, and I will send you that video of the music. I'll write a song about this.
Yeah, I like that thing you were doing.
The other day,
like a rock opera thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but I miss your lyrics. Your lyrics are brilliant. But anyway, you give me the ideas anyway, just by talking about it. How do we bring this to a close?
Speaking of that, I mean, I'm not in a position to do anything about this at the moment, but. You know how musically we've always this thing about you always reckoned I was a great lyric writer, but you didn't want to do my songs, right? You wanted me to write lyrics for your music.
Because I wasn't spiritually mature enough.
Well, for all the reasons why, but you didn't want to do my songs, right? You said I've always said I was a great lyric writer, but you wanted me to write lyrics over your music.
Oh, it was just easier.
You didn't want to have to learn some music that I was telling you, okay, it goes like this. You didn't want to do that, right? No. That's how it's always been.
Yes.
Okay, but you kept saying I write great songs, but you didn't want to do my songs.
Not the way exactly.
You didn't want to, because I was giving you music.
Like Mozart, change a few notes. You wanted
to do the music, right? Yeah. But with my lyrics. But you didn't want to do my lyrics with my music, right? You thought that was boring. You didn't want to learn, okay, so it goes like this, does it? Oh,
yeah,
to learn
it
this.
was a bit dark, some of them.
Well, no, but just the act of having to do, like, to learn a certain melody. You didn't want to do that. You wanted to do your fucking melodies and push buttons and do all this shit, okay?
Yeah.
You didn't want to have to play this chord and learn, okay, then we go this chord and then we do this and then you didn't want to do that. You liked my lyrics.
I found it hard.
Well, you just didn't want to do that. You wanted to do your stuff, your music.
The flair, yeah.
But you wanted the lyrics.
Yeah.
But you didn't want my music.
True.
You just wanted my lyrics.
Yeah.
Okay, because you had your musical thing. Okay, that's how it was always been, all right?
Yeah, true.
It doesn't have to stay like that, all right? It could be different. Like I said, we could make a new movie. And one movie we could make, okay, is we could start doing my songs, ones that I've written, and get them out there on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, we could.
Yeah.
But you would have to have a completely different mindset and approach and attitude toward my songs.
Yeah.
You would have to, okay, now how does this go? Right? Yeah. And then you would put your special bit into it, but you don't even get to that stage.
No, it's a bit right side brain for me and I'm damaged.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just you didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
But if you changed that, if you decided that you did want to do that,
right.
Well, then that's something that we could do.
It's possible now because I've got a platform and I've done all my thing. I've got it pretty much all out of my system, made hundreds of videos, musically as well. And I know who I am and what I am doing my own thing. But it would be still interesting to see doing it your thing with the music supporting your idea. To
my lyrics and melody.
Yeah. But I was trying to discover myself. My journey.
Yeah, I know. I'm not making a judgment. I'm just saying how things were.
Yeah.
This is what the mirror is showing. Yeah. But I'm trying to crack that fucking mirror.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is what's in the mirror. But
one song. That's all
I'm trying to break the mirror.
Yeah.
So that's something that we could do because we've been both practicing music for years and years. It's not as if we don't know what we're doing. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I've got an ability to write lyrics and you've got an ability to play piano.
Or I'll pick your best song then and I'll go your way. But it's going to take time for me to get it sort of
do that
technically
and put it on YouTube.
Yes.
And you know what I thought we could call ourselves?
No.
2D.
Two Daryls.
2D.
Who both had two angel experiences.
Just 2D. That's what we would call it.
2D.
2D. So in other words, two-dimensional as well as two Daryls. You know, we've got the dimensional thing in there, 2D, 3D, 4D.
Oh.
So 2D, but also 2D meaning two Daryls.
Wow. What do you think of that? Oh, yeah.
2D.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows about 3D, 4D, 5D, knows 2D. That also means two Daryls.
Amen. All right. Wow. Is your name spelt the same as mine?
Yeah.
Exactly the same, everything?
D-A-R-R-Y-L.
Remember I put that advert in the paper when you were 18? I was 18.
Yeah, I vaguely remember
looking for a spiritual, cosmic person and musical and, philosophical. Amazing.
So, we could be 2D.
Right. Well, you pick your best song.
For us to be having this particular conversation right now sort of gives weight and credence to the conversation that we've had today about making a new movie.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
This is sort of in the lines of that, isn't it?
We're two or more gathered.
What we're talking about, actually doing the music.
It's empowering,
That's like making a new movie. Mm-hmm. It's almost like, we've never been able to be in this place together before, musically, right?
Yeah.
We've always clashed, okay?
Yeah.
And we never did anything. But right now, with you just saying what you just said, and with the vibe I'm getting out of you, okay, which means the vibe I'm getting is that you're actually open and receptive to the idea, all right?
Yeah.
Well, if this is the first time we've been in this sort of space, that means that it's almost like a little reward for the conversation that we've just spent. So we sacrificed our afternoon, okay, to try to have a real conversation.
Yeah.
And we've been rewarded with some inspiration. I can see that
Daryl, you've got the patience to work with me. Work with me. Work with me, because you know I'm pretty slow on the mark.
It feels like it's a payoff. We've been given some inspiration.
Because remember Mozart wrote his song and the emperor said, "Oh, just cut out a few notes. Just cut out a few notes, and it'll be perfect." And Mozart said, "It is perfect." See, I've got to get out of that attitude. I'm not saying my music's perfect, but I've got a lot of flair, Liberace thing going on. I've got to try to, because I want to hear your lyrics, because it tells a story and it's empowering to the public view. Because you're telling a story. My music is people got to interpretate whatever they want. Yeah.
I can't remember if I've laid this on you before, but I just want you to. This is not going to be This is not going to be the first song, right?
Yeah.
This is not going to be the first song. I just want you to hear this because.
Oh, you got to play piano.
No. It's
guitar.
No. I'm just going to shut the door. It's different. It's different. There's only just a few lines, but down the track, I want to develop this. All right.
And
I think I'm not sure if I've played it. If I've done it to you before, but just a few lines, okay? But it's different. Have a listen to this, okay?
Oh, you're not going to play the piano?
No.
Oh, okay.
But it's okay. So this is different. All right. So
you have to get a professional singer. That's it.
Well, tell me what you think. Just okay. So. Okay. Where are you now? Are you attending your flame? Do you love your mother? Are you taking the blame? You like that?
Yeah. I think everybody would love that in this modern age. And other words.
Different, isn't it?
Yeah. Love
where
your
are
mother.
you now? Are you attending your flame? Do you love your mother? Are you taking the blame? Where are you now? Are you attending your flame? Do you love your mother? Are you taking the blame?
Wow.
That's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's not going to be that. It's just an idea.
That was
But
I love it.
really do that up, couldn't you?
Yeah.
But we could do. That's how. It's a YouTube world now.
Darryl, I've got a call come through from Pastor Steen. Can I just answer it? Okay. I better sign off here. How do I? Oh shit! I don't know how to do that. Oh, I suppose I could. What's he done here? I'll sign off here. Yeah. God bless. Where are you?
Yeah. Okay. Right. You go.
Yeah, mate.